This just
got one.
I used to collect after this, I think we might need to I'm going to sit on the console. I kind of want to put my pointer on. Put it on there. Yeah. You are, but poorly. Like, am I? Am I doing it right? Short to working, yeah, you are. But it just. I've got a really big. I've got a really big kind of. Am I doing it right now? You are. Oh, my feet. My feet are very cold. When I was about 11 years old, it was like oversized, but now it fits really nice. I want to get, yeah. Oh my god, right? After going yours, I don't really like to go too much, but like if there's like a shop nearby, Gap, we go. I love Gap. We go to Gap. Really? When you go to a Gap, you know what? I don't like loitering around the shop, but like if I'm like, let's say I want to buy a shirt, then I'm fine to go on the shirt. I hate this. I can only wander around the street. Yeah, I'm like, I like wandering around the street, but I don't like wandering around inside. Like, I just supermarket. I just like it. I don't like wherever the hell we want because we find it and spend it like when the time to do that. Would you actually do that? Like, do that. Through A levels, you know? I'll have a homecoming. Oh, that's true.
Stop ready. Check whether the loo will pick flushes. You might do that.
Oh, I thought you said like 8 years ago. I almost ended up going up. That would be quite nice. I'm used to it. I'm feeling a bit rough. But I'm just like, that's it. Exactly. I wish I could do that. On the last game when I was working, there was this whole thing about how I'm young and immature and I don't know anything because I made my grandma was literally better than I needed to be myself. She gave me a whole lecture about how I don't have the age and experience of like making sandwiches and not sandwiches. I was like, I you can't be joking. Like this is ridiculous.
No, just transfer the group saying it should be in London, arriving in London. On where is in London?
Oh, is that on? Yeah, I noticed. I think they both like seen the terrible baby yeah, this is maybe hate. No, I hated him anyway. He was really funny, particularly in that film. I think it's weird to watch it. It's to make the documentary. Oh, was that one of the BBC Shakespeare retold? That was yeah, that was much later. No, that was good. That was something. That was just a different thing. I remember it's really cheesy. It's a dad where I see the film and the diver like goes, hey, like appears on the screen.
In the back, in the back. In the back. Well, that's the challenge. I don't know if it's always
Did you come to the concert? Yes, isn't it? It's nice to Oh
No.
To prevent your dehydration, which is bound to happen otherwise.
There was a thing recently where he was like, he saw Prince William, no, Prince Harry, whatever, I don't think it was Prince William actually, whatever. It was like some telly show that they interviewed people. Was it literally? Yeah, when it was, I can't remember what, he was Troubadour Star. I think a clip went viral and was very misrepresentative of vocals. Yeah, I've actually seen it. But there's just like a huge backlash against it. Yeah, and I think that's what brought his name as well. It's pretty well known like, in the realm of like writing about medicine, but I don't think it's like becoming one of the more famous things. I guess it's not what you expect, so you're that kind of afraid about it, you're kind of ticking along like respected and going boxes and live and sort and
Bless you.
oh, you
That's even real bad.
you know what lake
I'll eat it if I have it, but I will eat it if I have it. And I'll have it for you.
Lord of this land, Odysseus, returns to his home the island of Ithaca. This is a story of Nostos. But what welcome might he expect?
Remember me when I am gone far away unto the silent land, when you can hold me by the hand, nor I have time to call it turning stay.
Disguised by his patron, goddess Athena, he enters his hall unrecognizable, to find his home invaded by suitors for his wife Penelope's hand. 108 bachelors live within, and currently listen to stories from the Trojan War. 10 years past now. Cunning Odysseus has just conceived the plan to give Troy the wooden horse filled with hidden Greek soldiers. Troy was destroyed. Gods fought on either side of this great conflict, promoting their champions to an ever bitter and bloody front line. Aeneas was loved by Aphrodite, Hector by Apollo, and Odysseus was Athena's favorite. My favorite, I should say. Our world is one of gods and monsters. Humans are playthings. But Odysseus has been from home 10 years too long, and Penelope has been 10 years more only. I am in the shape of Phoebe, Penelope's sister, to help these two proud hearts reunite. The man for wisdom's there is art's renown. Long exercise in woes of news. Who in his arms had brother destined more of sacred Troy that raised her heaven-built walls. Odysseus, so above the victor tree.
Phoebe! That acts of gods and heroes old, in ward and bower, in halls of told, all for bear, that dear, disastrous name, in sorrow sacred and secure of faith. My bleeding bosom seconds sound. Every note infects a wound. Tell another story, one unrelated to recent times, perhaps associated with Athena, the patron of our house.
There are many great stories of the great wise martial goddess, queens, invention, military victory. Which one of the many successes which we have described? Victory in weaving against the heretical upstart Arachne, the just cursing of Medusa for befouling her temple with Poseidon.
Tell us about the start of the rivalry with Poseidon. Tell us about the founding of Athens.
That makes for a little narrative, though Poseidon isn't thought to have been salty about it so long since.
Hard to be anything else when one is lord of the sea.
Let me tell another. Athena helps many heroes in distress. Heracles or Perseus or...
No more talk of heroes, please. Stories hardly ever live up to reality.
Very well. Key crops. Half man, half serpent, was the third In his time, they say, the gods resolved to patronize the cities of Greece. Poseidon wished to claim Attica, and with a blow of his trident onto the middle of the Acropolis, he produced a sea, which they now call Erechthis. Athena came after, and she planted an olive tree, which still grows in the Pandrosion.
Athena won Attica, as she was the first to plant the olive tree, a gift of sustenance, medicine, and negotiation. The olive is sacred to the goddess. Poseidon, in hot anger at his defeat, lay much of Attica under the water. The two gods fight forevermore.
That is indeed how the end of the tale is told. I have not seen you in our walls before, stranger. Who are you? Friend or suitor? Your garments are strange and worn, and I know you not. What is your purpose here in Ithaca?
A simple traveller, itinerant and wandering, though a witness to many marvels. Forgive me, do I speak with Penelope? I've met your husband, lady, once or twice. I have news of his travels.
Many have come to our shores in the years since Troy fell, stranger, promising similar stories. Are you another? Calls me home and grief. Which of my suitors employed you so? A jest, perhaps, a cunning ruse with a laughing at my expense.
Odysseus left Ithaca in a mantle of purple wool, double lined, fastened with a golden brooch. Embossed upon it, a dog with a spotted fawn beneath its paw. His shirt that he so softly, it was like the skin of an onion glistening in the sunlight.
Recognize my lord. That cloak was woven by me through Athena's guidance. Strange that you should speak of it. But this does not prove the verity of any tale you wish to tell.
Trust the source. For these words come from the lips of Odysseus
You
himself.
met Odysseus when? How looked he? Was he?
I mean, not quite Odysseus himself. A crew member, a trusted crew member.
I see.
The timing. It's portentous, sister, to hear news of Odysseus the night before you must choose a new husband. Oh,
New husband is not a prospect that thrills me. Sister. My tactics of delay are spent, our coffers are almost dry. Telemachus, our son, is now full grown, and I am tired. Troy fell years ago, yet for me there is no end to this conflict, till Odysseus is home or I accept defeat. Leave me to my weaving, both music and thread. Tomorrow I surrender.
listen to the stranger. Sister, no doubt tomorrow the trial of action will continue. I'm betrothed to another you will be. But for one final night, you are the wife of Odysseus, lady of this house, and may get out of your husband.
Athena has not deserted him yet, good lady.
Very well. In homage to our patron goddess, I extend the olive branch.
Odysseus' first adventure after leaving Troy used a stratagem worthy of Pallas Athena herself. In battle with Polyphemus, the Cyclops son of Poseidon, cunning Odysseus rescued his men from cannibalistic slaughter by blinding the giant in his sleep. Polyphemus cried out, "Oh, for the name but no man, was the reply. Thus, when other Cyclops cried out, why hounds break through the night? Polyphemus responded with, no man did this. There were not to say it. The blinded shepherd knew that his crew might escape his cave at dawn with the sheep. The sheep. The sheep knew his crew might escape the cave with his sheep. But Odysseus was not easily sidetracked. He tied his men to the underbelly of the sheep, thus saving them from a horrific death.
Cunning boy indeed. Did he gloat at all?
Who?
My husband. He has a penchant for rubbing victory in the noses of those whom he does not, always to the benefit of himself or those around.
Indeed, he did. My sister, I too have heard this tale many a time before, whispered in taverns, striking fear and awe. I can play the part and help the scene as this traveller recalls, and he, of mind elate and scorning fear, thus with new taunts insults the monster's ear.
Cyclops, if any pity thy disgrace, ask who disfigured thus that eyeless face. Say, 'twas Odysseus, 'twas his deed declare, Laertes' son of Ithaca the fair. Odysseus, far in fighting field renowned, before whose arms Troy tumbles to the ground.
The astonished savage with a roar replies, O heavens! O faith of ancient prophecies! I deem some godlike giant to behold, or lofty hero born to brave and bold. Not this weak pygmy wretch of mean design, who not by strength subdued me, but by wine.
Still raging he repeats his cries, with hands uplifted to the starry skies.
Hear me, Poseidon, thou whose arms are hurled from shore to shore and gird the solid world. If thine I am, now thou my birth disown, and if this unhappy Cyclops be thy son, let not Odysseus breathe his native air. Leave son of Ithaca the fair. If to reveal this country be his fate, be it through toils and sufferings long and late, and when at home from foreign sufferings freed, mourning and deep domestic woes succeed.
Thus, with imprecations filled the air, wrath-filled Poseidon heard the unrighteous prayer. Poseidon, by prayer repentance rarely won, afflicts Odysseus, revenge for his blind son. For this, the god constrains the Greek to roam, a hopeless exile from his native home.
Poseidon is a dangerous god to have as a foe when your home is an island and the returning route the sea.
Odysseus, like you, is a follower of Athena. For that alone Poseidon is his foe. I doubt on these turbulent seas the journey home would have ever been easy. Though it was not the actions of the gods that made him so long, but the greed of men. For Odysseus was home almost 8 another one of Poseidon's storms, he and his crew found refuge in the court of Aeolus, the wind. Aeolus, sympathetic, captured Poseidon's unlucky wind in a pouch for Odysseus to hold. Release but a little, and the journey home will be. And so it was for a time, a gentle breeze at their backs, and soon Ithaca came in view, white roofs glistening on the rocky shore. Some sailors thought the pouch from the god contained gold. Long have his coffers grown with Trojan spoil, while we, the wretched partners of his toils, reproached by want, our fruitless labours mourn, and only rich in barren fame return. And now, Aeolus augments his store. But come, my friends, these mystic gifts explore. And so they said, oh, cursed fate, the thongs unbound, the gushing tempest sweeps the ocean round. Caught up in a whirl, the hurried navy flew, the ocean widened, the shores withdrew. Roused from his fatal sleep, he long debates if yet to live or desperate plunge to fate. Meantime, their vessel ploughed the liquid plain, and soon the known Aeolian coast regained.
Odysseus! What demon couldst thou meet to thwart thy passage and repel thy fleet? Wast thou not furnished by our choicest care for bliss, for home, and all thy soul held dear?
Sister, who do you play now? Who is that?
Do you not know the winged god, Aeolus?
He tried to implore the Lord of Wind. Me, locked in sleep, my faithless crew bereft of all the blessings of your godlike gift. But grant, oh grant the loss we may retrieve, a favour you and you alone can give.
While wretch be gone, this instant I command thy fleet accursed to leave this hallowed land. His baneful suit pollutes these blessed abodes, whose fate proclaims him hateful to the gods.
This was the first time Odysseus feared the voyage home might be cursed.
Cursed by his arrogance. It seems to fit.
By his wild bravery, perhaps.
Wild and reckless and just that bit unlucky. He seems always to fail at that last hurdle before personal success. He and I feared the voyage to Troy would mean a long parting. The oracle warned us so. He feigned madness to avoid the draft, did you know? Ploughing the fields with salt, or drawing it with donkey and ox. The brews are thus uneven, you see, a mad thing to do. But when Palamedes threatened the life of our son, placing him in front of the plough, so Odysseus had to swerve, proving sanity, and with Agamemnon, he must go. Cunning, always. Always failing. He conceived the Trojan horse that brought an end to that city and should have brought him home, and home he has not come. Where is that success that becomes so personal?
He noted He killed Palamedes at the gates of Troy in vengeance for being kept away so long. Or so it was told.
Odysseus commanded not just his ship, but a whole fleet from Ithaca. None have so far returned. Do you know what happened to them? There are many sons and daughters now reached adulthood, but have not yet met their father.
That dismal scene that was their fate. Upon leaving the Cyclops Island, they found a race of people, a civilization known as the Lystragonians.
Causes tell us as much as words. Seeming, the rumors we have heard seem true. Broken shipwrecked wood has washed our way in the years since Troy fell, stranger. The spite of Poseidon, no doubt. The carpentry jointure is in our local style. Other remnants have washed our way too, including bones, human bones, gnawed and cracked for marrow.
We sent 3 scouts ashore with olive branches for being happy.
One for his food, the raging glutton slew. The 2 rushed out, and to the navy flew. Barked off his prey, the yelling monster flies, and fills the city with his hideous cries. A ghastly band of giants hear the roar, and pouring down the mountains crowd the shore. Fragments they rend from off the craggy brow, and dash the ruins of the ship below. The crackling vessels burst, hoarse groans arise, and mingled horrors echo to the skies. The men like fish, they struck upon the flood, and crammed their filthy mouths with human food.
Whilst thus their fury rages in the bay, Odysseus the cables cut and called to weigh. The sailors catch the words and oars they seize, and sweep with equal strokes the smoky seas. Free from the rocks the rapid vessel flies, and in the port each wretch encumbered dies.
Only Odysseus' crew survive.
Not for much longer. Soon their course
This cursed voyage, I can only guess, to the route of Scylla and Charybdis.
you know it.
High in the air, the rock its summit shrouds, in bruising tempests and in rolling clouds. Loud storms around and mists eternal rise, beat its black brow and intercept the skies. Full in the center of this rock displayed, a yawning cavern casts a dreadful shade. Wide to the west, the horrid gulf extends, and the dire passage down to hell descends. Here Scylla bellows from her dire abodes, tremendous pest, abhorred by man and gods. 12 feet, deformed and foul, this fiend dispreads. 6 horrid necks she rears, with 6 horrific heads. Her jaws grin dreadful, with 3 rows of teeth. Jaggy they stand, the gaping den of death. She makes the huge Leviathan her prey, and all the monsters of the watery way. The swiftest racer of the azure plain here fills her sails and pulls her oars in vain. Fell Scylla rises, and her fury roars. At once 6 mouths
cry. A rock of less enormous height breaks the wild waves and forms a dangerous trait. Full on its crown, fierce green branches rise and shoot a leafy forest to the skies. Beneath, Charybdis holds her boisterous reign midst roaring whirlpools and absorbs the main. Oh, if thy vessel plough the direful waves, when seas retreating roar within her caves, you perish all, though he who rules the main lends his strong aid, his aid he lends in vain. Ah, shun the horrid gulf, by Scylla fly! 'Tis better 6 to lose than all to die.
They bent their course and stemmed the desperate way. Dire Scylla, a scene of horror forms, and there Charybdis fills the deep with storm. Struck with despair, with trembling hearts we viewed the wide dungeon and the tumbling floods. When lo, dire Scylla stoops to seize her prey, stretched out her dire jaws and snatched 6 men away. They call to aid, with outstretched arms implore. In vain they call, their arms are stretched no more. So the foul monster lifts her prey on high, the pantret struggling in the sky. In the wide dungeon, she devours the food. The flesh trembles as she churns the blood. Worn as I am, with cares decayed, I never seen such dire surveyed. Free from the rocks, the impatient vessel flies, and the hoarse din like distant thunder dies.
Cursed voyage indeed. Was there no good fortune, no friendly god?
Indeed, all but Hermes were against me. I mean him. All but Hermes were against him. Forgive me, my character becomes too much. Cursed by Poseidon, then later by the sun god. Why, he even went to the underworld to seek a way home, to seek advice from the prophet ghost Tiresias. Tiresias confirms to him Poseidon's curse and warned him not to touch the sun god's cattle. And warned him not to touch the sun god's cattle. But the men were warned in vain. Tossed and buffeted by wave after wave from winds, they soon found themselves at the shores of that sacred isle. Storms held them there, and other food seemed impossible to find. As the days passed, hunger grew. Eurylochus was always a reckless man.
Thus he, the Breves. Oh, the Breves. Around securely stray, when swift to ruin, they invade the prey. They seize, they kill, but for the right divine, the barley failed them for libations wine. Swift from the oak they strip the shady bride, and verdant leaves the flowery cake sublime.
Sister, you speak as though you know the man. When did you hear this part of the tale?
Sister, you know my imagination runs wild. I always fancied myself a thespian.
Meantime, from man to man, Odysseus exclaims, his wrath enkindled, his soul in flames. Meantime, the deed did mount the aerial way, and kindled into wrath the god of day.
Vengeance, ye powers! He cries, and then whose hand aims the red bolt and hurls the writhen brand? Slain are those herds which I with pride survey.
sky, pour the day, or deep in ocean plunge the burning rain. Vengeance, ye gods, or I the skies forgo, and bear the lamp of heaven shades below. Zeus so replied. Ah, source of day, whose radiant lamp adorns the azure way, still may thy bright beams through heaven's bright portal rise, the joy of earth, the glory of the skies. Lo, my red arm I bear, my thunder's guide, to dash the offenders in the whelming tide.
It took another week for the storms that held us on that sacred isle to blow themselves in. The horizon had just swallowed the sun when thunder struck. Our ships, wrapped in flames, cracked. And Odysseus watched as the men, like fowl that haunt the floods, they sink, they rise, now lost, now seen, with shrieks and dreadful cries. Firm to the mast, with cords to the helm I bind, I ride aloft, to Providence resign.
How do you know these things, stranger?
I heard it from...
By your own account, all but Odysseus perished. Who was there to witness and retell this tragedy? By my virtuous calculations, these virtuous misadventures would take no longer than 2 years. Do you know what my husband was doing in the other 8?
He was catched twice and rescued by Hermes.
I will be fascinated to hear from his lips what track told the wily, cunning, blessed by Athena, Odysseus, so long. He who ploughed the fields in feigned madness, who tricked Cyclops, Polyphemus, who conceived the Trojan horse and brought an end to that city. A man such as this could find his way home if he wished. For so long an absence, excuses for his delay run dry, even to my ears. Dreams and tales are a twisted thing, stranger. They come to us through 2 great gates. One of horn, the other ivory. Visions from the gate of ivory are fatuous, but those from the gate of horn are from the gods and hold truth. For years I have dreamt of my husband's exploits and fantasized on our future, and now my dreams dwell on the tournament of axes. My husband, as you surely know, would set 12 axes in the courtyard, one in front of the other, like the stays upon which a great ship is built. Stringing his great bow, he would shoot an arrow through all 12 axes. I do not know if this vision is from the gate of horn or ivory, factious or factual. But something tells me now is the moment for action. Tomorrow, I will follow my dreams. He who can string Odysseus' great bow and shoot an arrow through all 12 axes, him will I follow and quit this house. Quit my husband. Horn or ivory. I doubt not that Ithaca shall still haunt my dreams.
Do not defer the tournament just yet. For Odysseus will return before ever a pretender can string his bow. Would you allow me to string the bow and shoot the arrow to the axle?
You may try your hand. Stranger. While we sit talking together, I have little desire to end this night. Still, heaven has appointed us dwellers on earth a time for all things. I will retire to my chamber. Lonely place, though. Perhaps for only one night longer.
Please do join us in about 10 minutes for the trial of axes. In the meantime, you may enjoy the best beverages that Ithaca has to offer right over there. I'm also told that we sell programs, whatever that means. See you soon.
Pretty fine. Who wrote it? No, I think they're fighting brave people.
And that's the
Absolutely. They're doing it pretty well. We're beautiful, beautiful.
It's like the
I don't want to go.
yeah.
You want to go, get your bill. No, we do like that. I have stopped Barbara from continuing her pursuit of the foundation. Because I don't want her to use the phone number that was on that document. Which is what I've done. No, you told me that she would be on the phone. And I don't think that's true. I said it's all downside. What you would learn from it than having moved by it is quite a lot. The IRS's information about the condition. Yeah. No, condition. There's somebody else in exactly what happened. You don't. More than 50. We're moving forward. Lucy is going to have a conversation with Chairman about the changes that I have to do. Moderated by me. And it will be recorded. Get a copy of it. It'll be happening. And I don't want to get involved. I've given her instructions. No, by Paula. I've given Lucy instructions to wash the keys. She is happy with that. She definitely wants to go ahead. You realise she wants to go ahead. Her job is tough. You know, but he's very because she's up the stairs. She said she's up. She knows it. That's what Paul is for. Yes. And I will get the recording up to you. And I will know what everybody said. You can't screw up. Whatever happens, we'll find out. Yeah.
I don't think they're really good. But they're never going to Yeah, I think they've got.
Of course, it depends how far.
Yeah. I think like I'm sure that like and
so far it's
can we bring down.
You realise you've got going
But I just yeah.
What I want to
You want to work really hard.
About these new
no. No, what
They're not
happened
obvious
was
when
the peso went through a collapse.
but they're very
That was when I said we've got enough money. Enough to recover. Yes. Yes. It's just the faintest idea what to do about it. That's very difficult. Because we don't know what will happen next week. Yes.
I think they all have to do.
We're still missing the £2,000 that the university's got. We'll get it. And I'm still waiting for the £1,000 from the bank. Now return. Have another go tomorrow. Then getting Santiago. It's all very straightforward, isn't it?
108 suitors were restless, excited. The task seemed simple. He who could string Odysseus' great bow and shoot one arrow through all 12 axe heads would win Penelope. There was laughter, jostling, just laughing at the simplicity. Many questions about what the next step would be when all these eligible bachelors had completed the challenge. Oh, by the way, does anyone want to try with the lady's hand? Anyone? Do you have any eligible bachelors here? None? Really? Wow. That's do I see some hands? Do I see? Is your hand? Would you like to try for the lady's hand? Amazing. Do come up, please. Do come up. Did you bring your invisible bow? Amazing. All right. Now, string the bow, please, and then aim and fire. That was so good. Congratulations. However, it was not quite as good as Odysseus. So you were almost there, but better luck next time, you know. Maybe they'll divorce and try again. All right. Thank you very much for trying. The laughter faded, as not one, of these strapping young men could even bend the bow an inch. The last failed. Not a sound was made. A figure shuffled forward from the corner. A stranger? Wanderer from the night before? Did he really intend to try for the lady's hand when all the young had failed? He strung the bow with ease. The axe head sang in harmony as the arrow flew all 12. A mist rised in the eyes of all assembled. I, goddess Athena, did make it clear to all that this was no beggar man, but the lord of Ithaca home at last. And with a steely stare emblazoned in his eyes, he raises his bow slowly, and death rains on the rivals. When out of arrows his falchion flashes high, he slaughtered all the suitors that had smeared his home, and all the serving girls that had betrayed him. The nostos is complete. I leave my champion to his bride.
My loving, loyal wife, how much we have to say, how much...
Stranger, not so fast.
Stranger? By every measure, I am your husband. I won your hand a score of years ago in Sparta, and I have won your hand again in the tournament of axes. The wait is over, love. This is our homecoming, Nostos. Life can begin again.
Stranger, by every right of today's tournament, you have my hand. You have not yet, however, proven yourself the original man I married. You may have strung and shot Odysseus' great bow. I can perhaps see how youthful, handsome Odysseus has aged into you. That does not make you so.
I see what's happened here. The dirt of my towels makes undeniable. The wars, the seas, not inclined to that
Stranger, you insult my intelligence. It took many wiles to keep the suitors at bay all these years. For 3 years I created and unmade the burial shroud of Laertes. For who else could I do it? I implored my suitors. It is poor widower, bereft of Anticlea, his wife, and Odysseus, his only son. Every day, for 3 so far told are not good enough. What trials did you suffer while I was in mourning for the man I missed? Your tale is full of holes. I heard the story of poor female sirens dead due to a man's arrogance. Was that you?
Ah, you? You said you.
For linguistic ease. 8 years are missing from your tale of 10. What else happened? So cold as it.
When first leaving Trojan shores, the sky goes to a land not of magic, land of the woods. Strange beings, not prone to ear, nor strange to foreign death. They eat, they drink, and nature gives them the food that abounds in all the trees. Lotus the name, divine the dream once nor home, nor other care, but quit his house, his country, and his friend. The three we set from off the enchanted ground, we dragged reluctant, and by force we bound. The others forsook the pleasing shore, or, once charm tasted, had returned no more. Time seemed to vanish in that place. I have no idea how long we spent there. Could have been years.
Not 7 years. Where else were you? You haven't answered my question about the siren.
Oh! Yes! Okay! We defeated the siren!
Do not raise your voice at me when it has not been used to tell the truth. When you
Come, Odysseus. Come. You cannot expect my sister to trust so fast with a story that is yet half told. You always were homophrazy. Like-minded. Or did you think you could conceal from Penelope? Continue your tale. Unbless the man whom music wins to stay. Neither curse chill and listen to the lay. In verdant meads they sport and wide around lie human bones that whiten all the ground.
The Isle of the Sirens is infamous. Human carnage pollutes the shore. The foam is red with human gore. Fly swift the coast, let every ear be stopped against the song 'tis death to hear. Sportive meads, flowery sirens play. Tune, soft lyre, sing the vocal lay.
Me, with fetters firmly bound, the gods allowed to hear that dangerous sound.
Allowed to hear,
To survive.
allowed.
Fine, the gods weren't involved. I had the men tie me to the mast while they plugged their ears with wax. Our approach to shore, the siren choir descries. A sweet celestial music warbles from their tongues, and deluders tune their songs. soul takes wing to meet the heavenly strain. I give the sign and struggle to be free. Quick row my mates and shoot across the sea. New chains they add and rapid urge the way, till dying off the distant sound decays, scudding from off the dangerous ground. The deafened ear unlocked, the chains unbound.
It was death to the sirens for a man to hear their song and live. There is arrogance to you, stranger, a disregard for all you leave behind.
Lady, the dangers of my journey demand me.
Why murder all the suitors?
They had squandered my wealth, ruined my reputation.
Why murder all the slave girls?
Oh, well. They had misconducted
Misconducted!
themselves. They had lain with the suitors. They had betrayed
If
you.
so, that was my battle, and mine alone. The implications of today will ripple wide, crashing back on our shores here at Ithaca. If you are Odysseus, can you not see how today may tear you again from this house? Cunning man, can you not see the implications of your actions? Destruction follows you like the train of Hades, lord of the underworld himself.
I went to the underworld to find the way home. I walked to the shores of the Styx and back again to find home. Don't tell me I'm a fool. I met my mother.
And clear. How looked she?
When lo, across the dusky coast, a thin, airy shawl of vision and ghost. What wondrous visions I select. Water, pale, ascends my royal mother's shade. A queen, to Troy she saw our legions pass. Now a thin form is all Anticlea was. Straight, all the mother in her soul awakes. And owning her Odysseus, thus she speaks.
Comest thou, my son, alive from realms beneath, the dolesome realms of darkness and of death? Comest thou, alive from pure ethereal day? Dire is the region, dismal is the way. Or say, since honour called thee to the field, hast thou thy Ithaca, thy bride, beheld?
Source of my life, I cried. I fly from earth to seek Tiresias in the nether skies, to learn my doom as tossed from woe to woe. In every land Odysseus finds a foe. Nor have these native eyes seen my shores, since in the dust proud Troy submits her towers. But your sweet soul from her mansion fled. Tell me what distemper gave thee to the dead. Say, if my sire, good old Laertes, lives, if my son Telemachus yet survives, or if my spouse maintains her royal trust, though tempted, chaste, and obstinately just, or if for her absent lord no more she wails, false woman over wife travail.
Thee, ever thee, thy faithful consort mourns. Whether the night descends or day prevails, thee she by day and she by night wails. Thy sire in solitude laments his care. The courters join us, but thou art not there. For thee, my son, I wept my life away. For thee, through hell's eternal dungeon stray, no dire disease will heal my breast. Thou, my son, wert my disease and my death. Unkind with my love, my son expired. For thee I live, for absent thee expired.
Thrice, with mine arms I strove my strength to find. And thrice, he slipped like country wind. The dream, or vain illusion of the mind.
And clear, died gently, peaceful as could be wished by Hypnos, Lord of Sleep. My lady, Pallas Athena, perhaps it is time you drop the likeness of my sister.
What made you certain?
Only you, our patron goddess, know the details of Odysseus' journey so intimately.
Oh, well, Richard. Now was time to resolve this homecoming, and the plan required many faces and dreams. Odysseus must see the truth at his heart, and tell all the truth of his adventures. In this I will insist.
If this man is Odysseus,
That is for you to judge.
but the actions of a god are not straightforward. This might be a test from Our Lady Wisdom. How did you reach the underworld? Where did you leave from and return to? How long did it take?
The goddess Circe spoke to me and my crew for a time. We stayed a year in her company at the men's request. It was she who recommended consultation with Tiresias and pointed the way to the underworld. Circe in vain invites the feast to share. Absent, I'm hungry and absorbed in care. While scenes of woe grew anxious in my breast, the goddess beheld me, and these words addressed.
Why sits Odysseus silent and apart? Some hoard of grief close harbored in his heart. Untouched before thee stand the kids divine, and unregarded laughter, the rosy wine. Can yet a doubt or any dread remain when swore that oath which never can be vain?
I answered, Goddess, human is my breast, by justice swayed, by tender pity pressed.
Son of Laertes.
The queen began.
Oh, much enduring, much experienced man.
Odysseus, taught by labours to be wise, let this short melody of grief survive.
To thee are known the various woes you bore, in storms by sea and perils on the shore.
Forget whatever was in fortune's power,
And join the pleasures of this genial hour.
such be your mind as here ye left your post.
And then just sorrow for a country lost. Exiles and wanderers now wherever you go. Too faithful memory
renews your welcome.
A kind entreaty moves the gentle breast. Tired with long toil, we willingly sank to rest. We plied the banquet and the bowl we found, till the full circle of the year came round.
I see. How did Hermes help? Yesterday, as a stranger, you told me he rescued you twice. He has not yet had one mention in this tale.
Well, Hermes came to our rescue the first time we met Circe. She wasn't quite as accommodating.
Meaning?
Well, a long story short, she turned the men into pigs. Long story short, she turned the men into pigs.
Pigs!
Yeah, pigs.
Snuffling creatures that eat table scraps and wallow in their own filth?
Yep.
Wasn't much of a transformation.
I am so sorry. Whatever the truth of that, Hermes assisted me in the story of turning them back. God against human alone, I could have well ended up snuffling in Circe's enclosure myself. A form divine issues forth from the wood, immortal Hermes with the golden rod. In human semblance, upon his face, youth smiles celestial with every opening grace. He sees my hand, and gracious, thus began Hermes.
Oh, whither ropes thou? Much enduring, much experienced man. Oh, blind to fate, what led thy steps to rove the horrid mazes of this sacred grove? Yon friends in yon enclosure lies, all lost their form, inhabitants of skies. And think thou, the wit, to model their escape? To the stranger to thy shape, the full pro their equal. First the danger know, and take the antidote that the gods bestow. This plant shall avert the evil hour and guide thy path through this lost bower.
Soon as she strikes the wand and gives the word, draw forth and brandish thy refluted sword and menace death. Those menaces shall move her altered mind to blandishments and love. Nor shun the blessings proffered to thy arms. Ascend her bed and taste celestial charms. So shall thy tedious toils a respite find, and thy lost friends returned to humankind. Though swear her first by those dread oaths that tie the powers below, the blessed in the sky. She mixed the potion, fraudulent the soul, the poison lamps in the golden bowl. I took and quaffed, confident in heaven. She strikes the wand, and then these words are given.
Hands to thy fellows.
Furious she began.
Go be a beast.
I heard, but yet was mad. A sudden whirling like a waving flame, my beamy falcon, I assault the day. Struck with unusual fear, she trembling cries. She faints, she falls, she lifts her weeping eyes.
What art thou? Say, from whence, from whom you came? Ah, more than human. Tell thy race, thy name. Amazing strength, these poisons to sustain.
thy name? Or art thou he, the man to come, foretold by Hermes, powerful with the wand of gold, the man from Troy who wandered ocean round, the man for wisdom's various arts renowned? Odysseus! Ooh, thy threatening fury seize. Sheathe thy bright sword and join our hands in peace. Let mutual joys our mutual trust combine. And love more confidence, be thine.
And tell me, dread Circe, furious I began, how can love, and love born confident be mine, when beneath thy charms my companions grow, transformed to beasts? Celestial as thou art, yet stand denied, or swear that oath by which all gods are tied. Swear in thy soul no latent fraud remains, swear by the vow which never can be vain. The goddess swore, and seized my hand, and led me to a sweet transport of a genial world.
Making love to a goddess. All in the name of saving your men. How virtuous. A year in our company, you say. You must have known each other intimately by the end.
Penelope.
One instance so far. One. When else did he help?
Who?
Hermes. 1 year in Circe's bed. A few weeks perhaps with the Lotus Eaters. 7 years are still missing from your tale of 10. Where else were you?
A beautiful wife, my cunning
Stranger.
Gigi. After Zeus destroyed my ship in vengeance for the sun god's tackles, I was shipwrecked on Ogygia, home of Calypso. For what you ask, attend. An island lies beyond these tracks and under other skies, Ogygia named in the ocean's watery arms. The heavens drove my wreck, the Ogygian isle to find. A full 9 days floating wave and wind, met there by a goddess with open arms. She bribed my stay with more than human charms. But all her blandishments successless proved to banish from my breast my country's love. I stayed reluctant 7 continued years, and watered her ambrosial couch with tears. On the 8th, she voluntarily moved to part.
The intercession that secured his release was mine. Thus I, the Pantheon, addressed. Immortal Jove, if from your thoughts Odysseus removed, unblessed he sighs, detained by lawless charms, and pressed unwilling in Calypso's arms, nor friends are there, nor vessels to convey, no oars to cut the immeasurable way. And so replied the Thunderer to me. Let Hermes to the Atlantic Isle repair. Bid him arrive in bright Calypso's court. The sanctions of the assembled powers report that wise Odysseus to his native land must speed, obedient to their high command.
Hermes came. Yay! You have have accused me of being unfeeling, but even my whole heart was moved by yours.
Ungracious gods! With spite and envy cursed! Still to your own ethereal race the worst. You envy mortal and immortal joy and love, the only sweet of life. Destroy. Did ever goddess by her charms engage a favored mortal and not feel your rage? A man, an outcast to the storm and wave. It was my crime to pity and to save. Go then, he must. He must. Your day. Try all those dangers, all those deeps again. But never, never shall Calypso send to toils like these her husband and her friend.
Goddess, celestial as thou art, forgive the weakness of a human heart. Though well I see thy graces far above, the dear yet mortal object of my love. Yet every day, absent thus I roam, I languish to return and die at home. Whatever the gods shall destiny to bear, black ocean or watery war is mine to master with a constant mind, inured to peril, or worse than desire. My seas, my wars, so many dangers run, still I suffer, their high will be done. Enough! Enough! What misery can these words avail? And nothing is so tedious than a twice-told tale.
Perhaps you are, as you say, the same mind that left here 20 years ago. But the soul is unrecognizable. Can you be the same person when every aspect is changed and altered? In Telemachus, I see far more of the man I married than in this husk before me now. Husk that murders slave girls in my hall, having already claimed victory. Husk wheedles favors from a goddess's bed. This is brutish. This is cruel. This is not my cunning man.
We are equals, you and I. Homophracy, like-minded. This I knew the day I gave up the hunt for Helen's hand, the beauty for whom all fought. This I knew the day I feigned madness to stay by your side in Ithaca. I have grieved the absence every day, and killed the man at the gates of Troy who forced me away.
Equals once, like-minded too, perhaps no more. There are other stories too, you know. Mighty rumor in days to come might spread her wings wide. Perhaps I slept with all those men now dead out there, and birthed a god as a result. Or perhaps, while you whiled away happy years with an immortal, perhaps the sun god came to me in the likeness of the man I loved. Perhaps I thought he had again today. Perhaps he used my weakness to revenge himself on you. And perhaps your wife gave birth to a god of music and nature, but also madness and fear. Pan.
I faced aside, I rejected Circe and the lethargy of the Lotus Eaters. I could have stayed with Calypso. But when Hermes came, I knew the answer was clear. Home was calling.
This is too much for tonight. I will give the order to have the marriage bed moved out of the chamber Odysseus built.
You can't.
It will be made up with good coverlets and quilts. You may sleep in the courtyard. We will talk again in the morning.
Good lady, you can't. You know as well as I that no man, however young, however in his strength, could move it. This hand, the wonder framed. Its olive spread, and in the court its ever-burdened head.
Full in the centre, the rock did rise, the branchy tone heaved unto the sky.
The marriage bower raised, and roofed defensive from storm and shower.
The spacious valve, with art inwrought conjoins, and that soft dome, with polished marble, shines.
We made an olive tree, sacred to Athena, our marriage vow. Now who has cut it down and moved our union from this tower?
While yet he speaks, our powers of life decay. She sickens, trembles, falls, and faints away. At length recovering, to his arms she flew, and strained him close, as to his breast she grew.
Odysseus, husband Odysseus, our olive tree is safe and well. Secrets of our marriage bed are known only to me, my sister, my love. We have suffered, both of us. You knew, hard of belief though I have been, I can mistrust no longer.
Touched to the soul, the king with rapture hears, hangs round her neck and speaks his joy in tears. As to the shipwrecked mariner, the shore's delightful rise when anger in Poseidon roars. Then when the surge and thunder mounts the sky, engulfed in crowds of what the sailors die. If one more happy, while the tempest reigns, outlives the tumult of the conflicting waves. The future is uncertain, but homecoming assured. For one night, we will allow these two absenting thoughts to marvel in the view of their olive tree, their marriage bower, symbol of mine and seat of power.
For this tempestuous, stormy story of the Odyssey. If you enjoyed it, please do let us know. We hang around after the show. Please do come up or let us know online. Anything online, Instagram, Twitter, all of that really helps us get the word out. We are Troubadour Stageworks. This is also the moment when I tell you that we are a charity, fundamentally, and we are always looking for help. Help is in advice, help about fundraising, about venues you might go to, contacts you might make. Our biggest mission is taking these kind of stories and workshops to communities and areas which normally have no access to theatre. We are currently fundraising to try and take the Odyssey and Romeo and Juliet on tour to schools. And if this is something of interest, another way of helping is that we have a singing bowl which works quite well as a collection bowl for any small change might have. Thank you so much. Hopefully talk to you afterwards and enjoy the rest of your day. Thank you. We do have it on our website, but you know, Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. We were lucky that we were.
Hi! Thank you so much for coming. Hello. Thank you. I'm just going to hug everyone. Thank you so much for coming. Thank you. I hope you enjoyed it.
You'll have to come again.
I know. Of course it's not. We'll see you now.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Yeah.